So one thing I'd like to say before I announce the winner is that this was the closest ever vote in the history of the Yachtsman of the Year Awards. 2 votes in it from a total count of over 200 journalists voting. So this was a Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton style. much more deserving winner, whichever of the nominees it is. That's the end of my political comments for the day. The winner of the Post.com YJA Yachtsman of the Year for 2016, I'm delighted to say, is Gavin Reid.
I can honestly say I did not expect that. A year and a half ago, I didn't know the difference between a halyard and a sheep or a jib or anything. I knew nothing about sailing. So to be here with so many amazing names and people who have achieved so much is just quite astonishing. And I've got to say thank you very much to all those who voted for me. Very much honoured for that. I've got to thank, obviously, my lovely girlfriend who filmed the whole thing, so if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't have known what happened. And yeah, thank all the support I've had over the past year. Yeah, thank you very much. I won the Yachtsman of the Year because I was involved in a rescue of a man stranded up a mast off the coast of Australia, and I helped get him back down to deck. At the time, I wasn't really thinking about all the terrors that await me. I was just, can I get the job done? What can I do? Try and do to the best of my ability to try and help him. And so I wasn't trying to think about the dangers of potentially myself getting wrapped or getting tangled. So thankfully that didn't happen, and I managed to complete the job I set out to do.
What was the man like? Was he very grateful? Was he injured in any way?
He was very angry. He'd been up there for 9 hours. He was starting to get a bit annoyed that he wasn't down yet. It was very difficult to communicate with him. I couldn't quite hear him, but I'm sure some swear words were used up there. He was getting hit on the spreaders and off the mast, so he was in a lot of pain. And when he got down, he was quite grateful, I think. And he fortunately didn't go away with too many injuries. It was always my biggest worry with sailing around the world was how I was going to communicate with people on the boat. It became easier as I progressed because I understood more about the fundamentals of sailing, but it was certainly very difficult in windy conditions, and to adapt to that I just used a lot of hand signal. I was constantly reminding my crewmates to be loud, be very physical with their movement so that everyone knew what was happening, including myself and the rest of the crew. So it took a little adapting, but the crew were very accommodating with it. At night time it was certainly a real challenge. It was just basically having to be loud, and quite often I would have someone next to me who I would talk to and say what did he or she just say. A lot of communication with people near me who heard them. Certainly when it was really windy, no one really heard anyone, so maybe we'd just have some lights on just so we can hear each other, but it was certainly a challenge at night time. I don't know my exact level, but I'd say fairly deaf. I certainly need 2 hearing aids in at all times. If I don't have 2 hearing aids in and a lot of background noise, I'll struggle a lot. I always imagined I would do something, I always imagined I would do an adventure of some sort. I didn't exactly have sailing in mind. I always want to travel. I've travelled a lot when I was younger, so doing something like this wasn't exactly on my mind, but it was certainly the kind of thing that I really wanted to do, and the challenge of doing it certainly appealed to me.
You've beaten Giles Scott. He won gold in Rio. How How do you feel about that?
Well, when I was first told about my nomination and who I was up against, I thought, well, I'm just delighted to be mentioned. And I'm sure Giles got thinking, how did I not win it? But no, it's just it was a real honour to be someone with such amazing credentials, and I'm sure he'll win it in the future. So I really want to continue to sail. It's one of the best years of my life, and having won this, it kind of confirmed that it's really pushed forward with it, and I'm hoping I can be heard of in the future. Absolutely not. I think having disability just means you've got to adapt. You've just got to have very open communications with your crew members so that you understand what you find difficult, what you're not finding difficult, and sailing is certainly a sport that's available for anyone. I know GB have had a lot of Paralympic sailing success, so it's not a selective sport at all. And I believe I may be the first deaf winner of Yachtsman of the Year, so I definitely think this can be a future deaf Yachtsman of the Year.